Leanne, thank you very much indeed. And as you heard there from Leanne, 13 soldiers were killed yesterday during the past few days, and the announcement was made yesterday, and there's one still missing in action. And to tell us a little bit more about the current situation, I'm now joined by the SA Defence Minister, Mapisa-Nqakula. Thank you very much for joining us on the programme, Minister.
Thank you. Good morning.
So what is the current situation at the moment? Are troops safe?
Well, we are assuming that our troops are safe. Right now we've relocated base from where we were, and we are now occupying the airport, and we're sharing it with the French. And of course you'd be aware that for the past 2 days we've been receiving those who have been injured and those who have passed on. They are back in the country. They've been repatriated. And of course, situation in the Central African Republic remains tense, although we're not overly anxious about it, because one thing that we've been telling our people is that we're not there to be part of the battle amongst between rebels.
So what brought South
government.
Africa's defence forces to CAR in 2007?
You would know that we've had an MOU between ourselves and the Central African Republic since 2007. That MOU actually allows for us to assist them in capacity building, but also to participate in the DDR process.
Process?
Which is the integration and verification processes which were there at the time. And that MOU expired in 2012 March. So end of the year last year, we then decided to renew the MOU based on the need that was identified by the government of the Central African Republic.
So your job was not to protect
No, actually we need to correct this. We need to set the record straight. It is not our mandate to protect leadership, even in the country here. That is the mandate squarely of the South African Police Force and not the mandate of the Defence Force. Ours was to assist in capacity building, assist in the establishment of proper defense and governance structures. And that's what we've done.
And you sent more troops in January this year?
Oh yes, we did, because at the time we had about 26 soldiers who are trainers, instructors, based in the Central African Republic. And when there was tension amongst the people of the Central African Republic between the rebels and the government of CAR, we then decided to reinforce by sending troops that would be responsible strictly for protection of the trainers who were on the ground, but also for the property that belongs to South Africa, because we have assets in the Central African Republic.
These Seleka rebels apparently have apologized for the action that they took. So they obviously misunderstood your role in the CAR. So what is the situation now between the South African troops and the rebels?
To be honest, the Seleka rebels know exactly what our mandate is in the Central African Republic. For your information, the man who came to the gate to actually knock and was carrying a white flag, which showed that, look, there has to be a ceasefire, is a man who was trained by the South African National Defence Force, who have since defected to the Seleka rebels. And therefore there is no misunderstanding about what role we're playing in the Central African Republic. However, we found ourselves in a situation where, as they were marching into Bangui, they then decided to attack our base, and that's when the fight ensued. Otherwise, all this time, there was no imminent danger to the South African soldiers. Why do you think
they attacked the troops?
Well, clearly we're on their way. We were on their way, and mischievously, people decided,
but
for instance...
But you weren't going to engage with them, though?
We were not going to engage with them. I mean, that was not the mandate that we had. But of course, when it happened, our soldiers then had to engage. And in fact, I should say that, sad as it is, painful as it is, because we've lost so many of our troops, but also we need to inform the South Africans, in particular the families, that they died fighting and they fought with pride.
All right, so finally, do we know where President Bozize is right now?
Well, you know, we don't know where Bozize is, but what we hear is that he's in Cameroon, based on the reports that were out yesterday from yourselves, from the media. So we don't know where President Bozize has fled to. If anything, in fact, when he fled the country, our troops were still on the ground, to prove to you that it was not, our responsibility was not to protect Buzis. Our people did not even know that Buzis was planning to flee.
So what happens to the troops now? Are they coming home? What happens?
You know, that's a decision that is very difficult to take at this point in time, because once an incident of this nature has occurred, you need to sit down, assess, look at the entire picture, do a bit of evaluation, and even look at where we may have faltered, and then you take a decision. So you can't just take a knee-jerk reaction. You just take a decision based on information that has been verified to make sure that we are on the safe side.
All right, and that's where we'll leave it. Minister, thank you very much indeed for joining us on the program and sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that was a conversation with the Minister of Defence telling us what's been happening in the CAR and the delicate situation that is there at the moment. More details as they come out.